Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing me the honor of speaking to you today. There is something powerful about a room full of people who are curious, hopeful, and ready to grow. Today, I want to talk about something we all share regardless of where we come from, what we look like, or what stage of life we're in. That is, one life, one chance. This life, this one precious, wild, unpredictable life is all we get. There are no do-overs, no rewind buttons. And because of that, how we live, who we choose to be, and what we choose to stand for matter deeply. Let me begin with the foundation of everything else I'll share today. Embrace your authentic self. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But in a world that constantly tells us who we should be, what success looks like, what beauty is, what worth is measured by, it takes immense courage to say, "This is who I am." Too often, especially in our educational journeys, we are conditioned to perform rather than express. We learn to chase grades instead of curiosity, to follow rules instead of purpose, to fit in rather than stand out. But the truth is, your greatest strength lies in what makes you different. Not better, not worse, just uniquely you. We are not carbon copies of each other, and we are not meant to be. If we all walked the same path, dreamed the same dream, and spoke with the same voice, how dull and uninspired this world would be. Think about it. Every innovation, every movement, every moment of meaningful change was led by someone who chose to honor their unique perspective. Your authenticity is not a weakness to hide. It is the gift you bring into every room, every relationship, every opportunity. When you live in alignment with who you really are, your values, your passions, your truth, everything changes. You stop seeking validation from the outside, and you begin living from a place of purpose and peace on the inside. But here's the challenge. Being authentic isn't always easy. It means showing up even when you feel unsure. It means saying no to what doesn't serve your spirit. It means risking being misunderstood because you value integrity more than approval. I want you to understand something deeply, especially to the young minds here who are shaping their future and defining who they are. You are not born to fit a mold. You were born to break barriers, to question the status quo, and to define success on your own terms. Don't shrink to make others comfortable. Don't water yourself down to blend in. The world does not need more of the same. It needs more of you. And if you're sitting there thinking, "But I don't know who I am yet," let me tell you that's okay. That's part of the journey. Discovering your authentic self is not a destination. It's a lifelong unfolding. It's found in quiet reflection and bold action. It's shaped by what you say yes to, but also what you say no to. It grows in the moments when you fall and choose to rise with more wisdom than you had before. Let me ask you, what brings your spirit alive? What makes you lose track of time because you're so immersed in it? What causes your heart to ache because you care so deeply about it? Those are clues. Clues that point to the path that belongs only to you. And when you find that path, or even just the first few steps of it, honor it. Nurture it. Guard it fiercely, because life is full of distractions, and the loudest voices are not always the wisest ones. But when you know who you are, you can walk through the noise without being moved by it. You have one life, one chance, and the most valuable thing you can do with it is to live in truth with yourself. Not someone else's dream. Not society's expectations, not even your past self's limited vision, but with the truth of who you are becoming every single day. And let me add this, when you live authentically, you give others permission to do the same. You become a mirror reflecting possibility and freedom. You become the kind of leader, teacher, creator, friend, and human being who uplifts rather than competes. That is the real power of authenticity. It doesn't just free you, it frees others. Today, I want to speak to the deeper parts of you the part that knows life is more than just a series of days, more than achievements on paper or applause from the world. I want to speak to the part of you that understands, perhaps quietly, that we each only get one life, and within it, just one chance to shape it with intention. In the time we're given, there are countless decisions to be made. Some seem small, what we say yes to, what we decline, how we spend our time. Others feel monumental, what path we take, who we love, what legacy we build. But the truth is, there is no such thing as a small choice. Every decision ripples out. Every action builds a pattern. Every pattern builds a life. That's why today, I want to challenge you to begin making every choice count. So often, we think of life as something that will eventually happen. We say things like someday or when the time is right. We assume clarity will strike like lightning, that direction will be obvious, and that success is something we stumble into if we're lucky. But that's not how life works. Life is not a single dramatic moment. Life is the accumulation of the hundreds, even thousands of choices you make when no one is watching. Every time you choose to be honest instead of hiding behind convenience, that counts. Every time you choose to study a little longer, push a little further, speak a little kinder, that counts. Every time you walk away from something that drains your soul or dims your light, it counts. You are always shaping your future with the choices you make today. And that's not meant to pressure you, it's meant to empower you. Because here's what I know, no matter where you come from, no matter what challenges you faced, your power lies in your ability to choose. Your background does not define your destiny, your choices do. And yes, there will be moments when the right choice is not the easy one. There will be moments when you're tempted to settle, to coast, to compromise on what you know in your gut is right. That's when you have to dig deep, because your life is not built in the moments when everything is going well. It's built in the moments when you choose growth over comfort, purpose over popularity, and integrity over shortcuts. Some of you may feel like you're at a crossroads. Maybe you're unsure about your career path. Maybe you're questioning your relationships or your role in the world. Maybe you feel stuck. I want you to hear this clearly. You are not stuck. You are standing in front of an open field of possibility. The choices you make from here forward will either build the bridge to where you want to go or keep you rooted where you are. That doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. You will. We all do. But a mistake is only a detour. It's not the end of the road. What matters is that you keep choosing with intention. Learn from every wrong turn. Grow wiser, not harder. And above all, keep showing up. There is no single path to fulfillment. But one thing is certain: if you want to live a life that feels meaningful, you have to participate in its creation. You cannot wait for life to hand you something extraordinary. You have to choose to create it. With every conversation, every connection, every hour of effort, you are writing the story of your life. So I ask you now, what story do you want to tell? Do you want to look back and say, I chose fear over faith? Or I followed someone else's version of success instead of trusting my own voice? Or do you want to say, I was bold. I was intentional. I made decisions that aligned with who I truly am and what I believe in. Because one day, when it's all said and done, and you reflect on this one life you were given, it won't be the big dramatic moments that define you. It will be the daily choices you made with courage, discipline, and love. It will be the way you carried yourself when no one was applauding. It will be the respect you earned from yourself because you lived in alignment with your values. And here's something else to remember: not choosing is a choice. Every time you avoid making a decision out of fear or procrastination, you're still shaping your life. So choose. Even when you're scared, especially when you're scared. In that journey, there is one companion we all meet along the way, some of us more often than we would like. That companion is failure. And today, I want to encourage you to look at failure through a new lens, because failure is not your enemy. It is your teacher. Too many of us grow up thinking that failure is something to fear. We see it as shameful, as a sign that we are not good enough, smart enough, capable enough. We're taught that to fail is to lose, that to fall is to be weak. But that belief is not only wrong, it is dangerous. Because if you fear failure, you will avoid challenge. If you avoid challenge, you will avoid growth. And if you avoid growth, you will never step into your full potential. Here's the truth. No great life was ever built without failure. Not one. Every innovator, every leader, every person who has ever made a meaningful impact has a history of failure behind them. The difference is they didn't stop there. They didn't let failure define them. They let it refine them. Think about that for a moment. If failure is part of the path, then why do we try so hard to walk around it, to avoid it, to deny it when it comes? Because we're told success is linear. We're told that the smartest people get it right the first time. But the real world doesn't work like that. The real world is messy. It requires persistence. And success? Success is not the absence of failure. It's the result of learning from it. Let me put it this way. Every failure is feedback. It's information. It's a lesson dressed in disappointment. And if you can shift your mindset from fear to curiosity, you'll find that failure doesn't break you. It builds you. When you get a result you didn't want, instead of saying, I failed, try saying, what did I learn? Ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I do differently? What strengths did I discover in myself that I didn't know I had? That's how you grow. And in education, in school, in career, in life, we need to stop measuring people solely by how often they get things right. We should be asking, how brave were you in trying? How did you respond when things didn't go your way? What did you build from what broke you? Because failure is not just a test of your skill, it's a test of your character. And I believe it reveals more about your potential than any easy win ever could. I've seen brilliant minds shrink because of one bad grade. I've seen talented individuals give up after one rejection. I've seen dreams shelved because someone stumbled once and decided they weren't good enough. But hear me clearly. One mistake doesn't define your entire story. One failure does not mean the dream is over. It only means the path might look different now. And different doesn't mean worse. It often means wiser. The most resilient people in the world are not those who have avoided failure. They are the ones who have walked through it, felt the sting of it, and came out the other side more determined than ever. They are people who've developed grit, not in spite of their failures, but because of them. So if you failed good, that means you tried. That means you cared about something enough to risk falling. And now you have a choice. Will you let it define you, or will you let it teach you? Because that's what failure is, a teacher. A hard one, yes, but a fair one. One that doesn't speak in comfort, but speaks in truth. And the lessons it gives you: resilience, humility, patience, perspective. Those are not things you can learn from success alone. When you fail, you are not broken. You are becoming someone deeper, someone stronger, someone who understands that your worth is not measured by how often you win, but by how courageously you rise when you fall. I say to every student, every dreamer, every person who has ever tried and stumbled, don't you dare give up. The setback you're experiencing may feel like the end, but it might just be the beginning of something far greater. Trust that failure is not here to crush you. It's here to carve you into someone who can handle the weight of what you're called to do. So the next time you face failure, and don't run from it, sit with it. Learn from it. Let it teach you who you are and who you can still become. Because in this one life we get, this one chance, the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be whole, to live fully, fall deeply, rise stronger, and to never stop learning, especially from the moments that didn't go your way. We live in a world that loves the word success. We're taught to chase it, define ourselves by it, and measure our worth through its lens. From an early age, we learn to associate success with titles, money, status, and recognition. We're told that if we check all the right boxes, we'll have made it. But today, I want to ask you to dig deeper. I want to invite you to redefine success not as something you have, but something you give. Not as something that ends with you, but something that lives beyond you. Because the truth is, real success is not about applause. It's about impact. The mark you leave on others. The light you carry and pass on. The way you make people feel when they encounter your presence. That is your legacy. You see, achievements fade. Trophies gather dust. Bank accounts rise and fall. But the difference you make in someone's life, that endures. The child you encourage, the stranger you show kindness to, the student you mentor, the community you serve, that ripple continues long after the moment passes. That is the kind of success that cannot be bought, and it cannot be taken away. So the question is not just, what do you want to accomplish? But rather, what do you want to contribute? How do you want people to remember you, not just for what you did, but for how you made them feel? What change, no matter how small, will exist in this world because you are here? You don't need a stage to make an impact. You don't need millions of followers or a powerful job title. You simply need to care. You need to lead with intention. And you need to understand that your daily choices, the way you show up, the values you embody, the integrity you live with, those things matter. Impact begins with how you live your life when no one is watching. It's in the extra time you give someone who's struggling. It's in the courage to stand up for what's right, even when it's uncomfortable. It's in choosing compassion when criticism would be easier. It's in listening to understand rather than waiting to reply. These moments might seem small, but they build a life that means something. A life that adds, not just achieves. We all want to be remembered. That desire is natural. But the most powerful legacies are not built on ego. They are built on empathy, on service, on giving more than we take. And the beautiful part, you don't have to wait until you're older, wiser, or ready to start building that legacy. You can begin now, right here, right where you are. If you're a student, impact your classmates with encouragement. If you're a teacher, plant seeds of confidence and curiosity in every learner you meet. If you're a leader, lead not just with your words, but with your heart. And if you're still finding your path, know that the way you treat people as you walk, it matters just as much as where you end up. Let me remind you, legacy is not reserved for the famous or the wealthy. Legacy is built by the consistent, quiet decisions you make to be a force for good. And often, the people who impact us most aren't those we read about in headlines. They're the ones who made time for us when no one else did, who believed in us when we didn't believe in ourselves. So I ask you, what if you focused less on being impressive and more on being impactful? What if you stopped chasing what you can accumulate and started asking what you can contribute? Because this is the truth. When your time here is done, people won't remember how perfect your resume was. They'll remember how your presence made them feel. They'll remember your kindness, your courage, your compassion. They'll remember the little things that were actually the big things. And if that sounds like too much pressure, let me ease your mind. You don't have to change the whole world to leave a legacy. You just have to change someone's world. One conversation, one gesture, one life at a time. As we bring this journey of reflection to a close, I invite you to carry these truths with you not as distant ideas, but as guiding principles for how you live your one life and how you make the most of your one chance. You have a purpose that is bigger than your fears. You have within you the ability to make every choice count, because your future is not decided by luck, it is built by intention. You will stumble. You will fall. But failure is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It comes not to defeat you, but to develop you. Let it. Learn from it. Rise because of it. And finally, do not chase a life that only looks successful on the surface. Build a life that leaves a lasting impact, a life that means something to someone. Because when your time here is over, it will not be the trophies, the titles, or the applause that people remember. It will be your love, your truth, your courage, your kindness, your impact. So I urge you now, step boldly into your life. Choose with courage. Fail with grace. Rise with purpose. And above all, live with the intention to leave this world better than you found it. Because this is it. One life. One chance. Make it count. Thank you.